So this is Ben Schaffer, and let's get going. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. We're going to be taking probably around half an hour to an hour, and we're going to be going pretty fast through a lot of things. And the first thing that we're going to do is actually just teach you some Hebrew. And we're going to be going through a Hebrew lesson. It's part of the Practical Hebrew course, and I really hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We'll be having a lot of fun. If at any point you do want to ask a question or you do want to make a comment, perhaps you can't hear me so well, perhaps you just want to tell me how beautiful I am, then just put that into the question box, which should be somewhere on your screen right now. What we're going to be doing after that, which will be approximately half an hour, is I'm going to tell you a bit more about what we're doing at the moment about here at Practical Hebrew, practicalhebrew.com. We've got some very, very exciting things that are happening, so I will be telling you about that. Now, I just want to make a point clear, and that is it doesn't matter if you've never heard the Hebrew before, if you've never spoken the Hebrew before, if you've never read Hebrew before. It doesn't matter if you are on the other end, an advanced speaker of Hebrew, you kind of know Hebrew, you want to know Hebrew. What really matters is that, yes, you do want to learn some Hebrew or start learning Hebrew. So that's me on the screen right there. I'm in the orange t-shirt. I hope you can see it. And that's with my family, my wife Gina, and then there's Meshi, who's right next to me. There's Ra'i, who's on the left. There's Hadar, who's next to my wife, and there's Asaf, who's sitting on my lap. And yeah, we are speaking right from Jerusalem at the moment. I'm actually not in that room. I'm in my office, but we are speaking to you directly from Jerusalem. The one thing I also want to mention is that if you stick around to the end, I have a gift to give you. It's a new book I have coming out on Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon for around $20, but I'm going to give it to everyone who's attending this for free. And stick to the end, and I'll give you a few more details on exactly how you can get hold of that. So let's go straight in to a lesson, which hopefully should be on your screen. I'm actually going to make the screen slightly bigger so that it's easier for you to say. And if you can just give me a yay so that I know you can see that now, that would be really, really helpful. And we could go over a lot of things, but once again, on your screen, what we are doing is speaking about living arrangements. And I'll just read it out to you. And Mr. Cohen's first contribution to the conversation, note that you are you staying uses the male singular in the present tense. Although in English, staying would normally be considered the continuous tense of the verb to stay, this is what we're doing. Now, a few things to mention here. The first thing is that in Hebrew, pretty much every single word, whether it's a noun or a verb, takes either a masculine or a feminine form. And just trying to think of yad. Yad is hand. Yadayim is hands. And yad is actually a masculine word. And what it means in real terms is if you're talking about a hand, you would use adjectives, feminine form of the adjective to go with it as well. And the other really, really great thing about Hebrew is that when you're using plurals, it's usually very easy to get from the singular to the plural. For example, we had yad and yadayim, which is hand and hands. Shulchan is table, and shulchanot is tables. So we're adding an ot or im or ayim. For example, yeled is boy, yeladim is boys. And usually if it's an im with a m, to make the plural, it is the masculine form, and an ot is the feminine form. So that's just to bear in mind when we're looking at the different words from this particular lesson which we're doing today. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to play some real Israelis speaking what you see in the screen in front of you. And on the screen in front of you, hopefully you can read this. Let me know if it's big enough for you. On the left-hand side, you've got the English. On the right-hand side, you've got the Hebrew letters. And in the middle, you've got the transliteration. Now, we thought a lot about how to do the transliteration, and obviously there are official ways to do transliteration, but in this particular case, what we chose to do was just the easiest. So it's not like an official transliteration, but it means that it's just a lot easier for you to read. Okay, so follow along with me, and we'll follow along with the Hebrew, and we'll see how we go.
Module 4. היכן אתה גר, מר וויליאמס? אני גר בינתיים במלון דן.
Okay, that was a bit quick. Now, if you did decide to play it slower, what you could actually do is set video to be played in slow motion. So let's try that.
Module 4. היכן אתה גר, מר וויליאמס? אני גר בינתיים במלון דן.
Okay, so you can see that, and we'll set everything to be played at normal speed again. So let's just read it ourselves. We're going to read the Hebrew first. You can look at the transliteration in the middle if you don't feel comfortable reading the Hebrew, and then we'll translate it and go through each word. So Mr. Cohen says, Heichan ata gar, Mar Williams. Heichan atar gar, Mar Williams. Now let's just read it from the middle where the transliteration is. Heichan ata gar, Mar Williams. Can you say that out aloud? Say it together with me. Heichan ata gar, Mar Williams. How did that go? Did that go well? Just let me know in the question box if that went well and you actually said your first Hebrew sentence. Now what does that mean? That means, and we can see the translation here, where are you staying, Mr. Williams? Now let's look at why that happens. Heichan is where, and there's also another Hebrew word you can use, and it's, I guess, more popular, but not as grammatically correct, which is ephor. Ephor also means where. So heichan means where. Ata is you, and it's the masculine form. What that means is when you're speaking to a man, you'd use ata. That's a man or a boy. Gar is also the masculine form to mean live or living, or in this case staying. So heichan is where, ata gar is when you're speaking to a man you say you are living or are you living, because it's a question. And then the last part is fairly easy, Mar or Mr. Williams. And Mar in Hebrew is the same as Mr. Okay, so should we carry on? Are we ready to carry on? Give me a yay, we're ready to carry on, or go back or something. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is Mr. Williams speaking. And he says, and I'm going to go through the Hebrew writing over here, Ani gar bentayim b'malon dan. We'll read that in the English transliteration. Ani gar benatayim b'malon dan. And you can see when you're pronouncing the resh, the R sound is a r, so it rolls in your throat. And that's when we heard the audio before, that's probably what you heard, a bit better them doing it than me. And that means I'm staying in the meantime at the Dan Hotel. So let's go back to the Hebrew and we'll take each word separately. Ani, that's me or I. Gar means living or staying. Do you remember we had here ata gar, and now we have ani gar. So we had you live, and now we're having I live. And once again, it's in the masculine because it's a Mr. Williams who's doing the talking. Bentayim, and that means at the moment or in the meantime, so it means something will be changing. But malon dan. Malon is a hotel. Ba is in or at. And Dan is the name of the hotel, the Dan Hotel. Now, something to mention where it says B'malon Dan. The B here is actually not part of the word, but what it's saying is it's a preposition to the word. And this is how it works a lot. Instead of saying at the hotel, in the hotel, by the hotel, you often just use a letter. And in this particular case, we're using a bet. So we'll say that again. Ani gar bentayim b'malon Dan. Can you say that with me? Ani gar bentayim b'malon Dan. I'm staying in the meantime at the Dan Hotel. Let's just go back and I'll clear the drawings, and what we'll do is we'll go back and listen to the Hebrew people saying it. Listen very carefully.
היכן אתה גר, מר וויליאמס? אני גר בינתיים במלון דן.
So did you hear how he said atagar, because it's a heavy resh?
היכן אתה גר, מר וויליאמס? אני גר בינתיים במלון דן.
So we may say Dan Hotel or Malon Dan in English, but we say it the Hebrew pronunciation, but Malon Dan. Okay, and now what you have here is vocabulary. We'll just go over this very quickly, and I know we're doing it very thoroughly, and that's simply because I think, and I hope you agree with me, that it's just the best way to learn when we do something quite thoroughly. So Heichan, do you remember what that is? Try not to look at the English. Do you remember what Heichan? Heichan is where. Another word for Heichan is also Efo, which also means where. What does Ata mean? Ata means you, and it's the masculine form, and it's a singular form. So if you're speaking to one man, you say Ata. If you're actually talking to one woman, you'll say At, without the Hey, without the A. So you'd say At instead of Ata. If you were talking to more than one man, you'd say Atem. Do you remember how I said about the Ma at the end is often the plural? And if you were talking to more than one woman, you would say Aten. So you've got At, Ata, Atem, and Aten, which in English are all the same word, which is you. Okay, next word, see if you remember this one. Gar. What does gar mean? Gar, of course, means live or reside or where you're staying. And here we're using, once again, the masculine singular for the present. So ata gar, you live. If we wanted to say to a woman, you live, instead of ata, it would be at. Instead of gar, it would be gara. So we'd say at gara. If we wanted to use the plural of the masculine, instead of saying ata, we'll say atem. And instead of gar, we'll say garim. So we'd say atem garim. And if we were talking about feminine, we'll use the word at. Okay, the next word. Try and shout this out if you remember what it means, and you'll get a point from whoever's in the room with you. They may think you look a bit mad, but that's okay, because at least you'll be the one learning the Hebrew. Benatayim. Do you remember what benatayim means? It means meanwhile, in the meantime. Now here's quite an easy one. Malon. Do you remember what malon means? I'll give you a clue. In the conversation, it was malon dan. Malon is hotel, and you may know the word melon, and in Hebrew, melon can also be melon. So if you remember that you eat melon in the malon, you eat melon in the hotel, then that will help you to remember the word malon. Okay, you ready for the next part? Gives us a yay! I'm ready, I'm here, I'm waiting, I'm ready, I'm looking at the screen ready, and We'll go on to the next part. Okay. Okay, well, glad to see everybody's ready, and let's just get going. Okay, we're going to do another conversation here, and it's a slightly longer conversation, but we'll see how we get on. So we'll play the Hebrew first at normal speed.
טוב מאוד, זה קרוב לשגרירות? כן, נכון. ואיפה אתה מתכונן לגור? יסודר עבורנו בית ברמת גן.
Nothing is very important that you do hear it spoken how Israelis would really speak it, so I'm going to play that again.
טוב מאוד, זה קרוב לשגרירות? כן, נכון. ואיפה אתה מתכונן לגור? יסודר עבורנו בית ברמת גן.
Okay, let's play that a bit slower, and we'll try and follow on with the Hebrew as well. So I'll mark where we are, I'll highlight, and we'll play that.
טוב מאוד, זה קרוב לשגרירות? כן, נכון. ואיפה אתה מתכונן לגור? יסודר עבורנו בית ברמת גן.
Okay, so at any point you can actually decide that you want to play it slower or play it faster. Let's do this ourselves now. So where are we up to so far? It's a fascinating situation, of course. We've got Mr. Cohen and Mr. Williams, and Mr. Cohen says to Mr. Williams, where are you staying? And Mr. Williams says, I'm staying at the Dan Hotel. Okay, so on to the next conversation. And actually, we're going to use the future tense. So we'll see how this works. So Mr. Cohen says, very good, it's close to the embassy. So Mr. Williams has told Mr. Cohen where he's going to be staying, and Mr. Cohen says, very good, it's close to the embassy. But let's read the Hebrew. Tov ma'od, ze karov l'shkrirut. We'll do that with the transliteration, and you can try and read this out loud as well. Tov me'od, ze karov l'shagrirut. And that means very good, it's close to the embassy. Now let's take each word as it comes. Tov means good. Ma'od means very. So it's Tov ma'od is very good. Zeh, which is that, or it. Karov, which means close. And shagrirut, is the embassy. It's not a word which is used that commonly. So let's just take a look at a couple of these words again. One is karov, and you can see here in the transliteration. Now you may know the word korban, which means sacrifice. And that's because when you make a sacrifice, the sacrifice goes close to God, close to Hashem. And you'll see this often in Hebrew, that we have three-letter roots. And here, the three-letter root of karov, which means close, is kuf, resh, bet. And you'll see a lot of words which come from each three-letter root. So, for example, you can use that for relative, you can use that, as I said, for korban, which means sacrifice, and there's many, many other words which use that three-letter root as well. So let's just read it again. Tov me'od ze karov l'shagrirut. L'shagrirut. Very good. It's close to the embassy. It's a bit hard to say that word, isn't it? Even having problems myself. That's okay. We all get better. And Mr. Williams, who's staying in Malon Dan and Dan Hotel, says, Ken, nachon. Or here in the transliteration, Ken, nachon, which means yes, that's right. Ken means yes, lo means no, Ken means le, yes, and nachon means correct. Okay, let's go on, and Mr. Cohen replies, Ve'efo ata mitchonen לגור. ואיפה אתה מתכונן לגור? And where do you plan to live? So we're using the future tense here with מתכונן. So ואיפה is and where. And do you remember I mentioned earlier that often you can just put a letter before and it changes the word, it adds something to the word. So ואיפה, the verb means and, in this case, ואיפה, and where. Here, לשגרירות meant to, the lamed is to, the L is to the embassy. Okay, and it's a bit different on לגור, and we'll go over that in a second. So ואיפה, and where. אתה, we know that means you because we've had that before. מתכונן, plan in the future. Where do you plan? And then to live is לגור. Now, the reason I wanted to make note of this word is because the lamed, the L, is not something like and or at. It means it's the infinitive. So I guess the to live is a bit like that, but whenever you get a lamed in front of the word, it means it's the infinitive. To live, to die, to read, to want, to eat. Okay, should we carry on to the next one? How's it going? Are you keeping up with everything? Just let me know in the question box everything is good, and we'll get to the end of this conversation first. It's Mr. Williams replying. And he's also talking in the future. Yesoder עבורנו בית ברמת גן. יסודר עבורנו בית ברמת גן. There will be arranged for us a house in Ramat Gan. Now the translation is slightly clumsy because you wouldn't necessarily speak like that when you're speaking English, but at least it means that you get a better understanding of what each word actually means. So let's go over it. Yisudar, there will be arranged. Seder means order. On Pesach, on Passover, people have a Seder night, a Seder, and that's because there's an order to the meal. So it will be arranged, it will be sorted out. Avorenu means for us. Nu at the end, I guess a bit like in French actually, means us. Avor is to go past. Bayit, hopefully you'll know this, Bayit is a house. Ramat Gan, now you've got the Ba, which means in or at. Ramat Gan is a place in Israel. It's just near Tel Aviv. Okay, let's go over the vocabulary which we've learned here. And then I think we'll just do one more, and then we'll go over to the next part of this workshop as well. So I'm going to say the Hebrew word, and if you just shout out what the English word is. So, zeh. What does zeh mean in English? What does zeh mean in English? Zeh in English means it, or that, or this. Next word, karov. Do you remember I said it's like a sacrifice, a korban? What does karov mean in English? Karov means close or near. Karov means close or near. Next word, nachon. Who can get this? Who can get this in the right way? Nachon means correct. Were you correct in getting that? Nachon means correct. Efor. Now before we had heichan, which means more or less the same thing, but what does efor mean? Efor means where. Efor means where. Next word, this is a bit difficult, but you may remember, mitkonen. Mitkonen. Mitkonen means, you got it? It means plan. Next word, lagor. This is an infinitive. Do you remember gar, lagor, gara? Lagor means to reside or live or to stay. Yisoder. Do you remember I said about Seder? Seder on Seder night. Yisoder means will be arranged. Okay. Avor means for, on behalf of. It also means past as well, and that's how it's often used in daily speech. The last word for the moment is bayit, and bayit means, hopefully you know, house. And often you get Beit as well. Beit HaMikdash is the temple. Beit Knesset is a synagogue. Beit Cholim is a hospital. Okay, this is the last one, and then we'll move on to the next part of the workshop. So I'm just going to play it, just so you can listen to it, and I'll try and scroll down so you can see it as well.
האם ראית את הבית? לא, אך שמעתי שהבית גדול ויפה. מתי תגיע המשפחה שלך? המשפחה שלי תגיע בעוד כחודש ימים.
Shall I play that again? And try and follow on the right hand side.
האם ראית את הבית? לא, אך שמעתי שהבית גדול ויפה. מתי תגיע המשפחה שלך? המשפחה שלי תגיע בעוד כחודש ימים.
Okay, I'm going to play that in slow motion now.
האם ראית את הבית? לא, אך שמעתי שהבית גדול ויפה. מתי תגיע המשפחה שלך? המשפחה שלי תגיע בעוד כחודש ימים.
Okay, let's go through that ourselves. And this is the conversation carrying on with Mr. Cohen and Mr. Williams. So, Ha'im ra'ita et habayit. Ha'im ra'ita et habayit. Have you seen the house? Ha'im ra'ita et habayit. Now, ha'im means, it's kind of a question word. It means a question is coming up. And if you have ha'im at the beginning of the sentence, it actually means that there's going to be a yes or a no answer. So it's not like, what color is your hair? It's more like, do you have hair? Ha'im ra'ita et habayit. So in this particular case, it's have you. Ra'ita is to see, or have you seen. So it's see in the past. So have you seen, ra'ita, have you seen, et habayit, the house. We had bayit before, and it's house. You can ignore the word et mostly, it means the. So ha'im, ra'ita, et habayit. Can you read that, even if you're doing it from the middle? Ha'im, ra'ita, et habayit. So what does Mr. Williams say? He says, lo, like we had ken before. Lo means no. Lo. Ach means but. Shamati, I have heard. So it's here in the past. Shomer is here. Lishmoa is to hear. Lo, ach shamati, shehabayit, that the house, bayit we know is house. Gadol means big. And yafeh means beautiful or kind of nice. So lo ach shamati shehabayit gadol v'yafeh. I'll do it from the transliteration. Lo ach shamati shehabayit gadol v'yafeh. No, but I've heard that the house is big and beautiful. Let's do Mr. Cohen. מתי תגיע המשפחה שלך? מתי תגיע המשפחה שלך? When will your family arrive? So מתי is when. תגיע, will they come? המשפחה is family. שלך is yours in the singular. So when will your family arrive? And Mr. Williams quite correctly answers back. Hamishpacha, we know as family. Sheli, my, so my family. תגיע בעוד כחודש ימים. So my family will arrive in about a month. המשפחה is family. שלי is my. תגיע is will come in the future. בעוד, that means in another. כחודש ימים. It's a very formal way of saying this, but it means a month of days. You could say המשפחה שלי תגיע בעוד חודש. That would be more how you'd, I guess, speak informally. כחודש ימים. חודש is month. חדש is new. So you can see we're using the 3-letter root again. And yom is day, and yamim is days. So let's just go over the vocabulary, and then we'll go over into the next section. So ha'im is introducing a question. It's going to be a yes or no answer. Ra'ita. Do you remember what ra'ita means? Ro'eh means you saw. Ach means but. Shamati, like shomea, lishmoa. Shamati is in the past, first person. It means I heard. Gadol is big or large. Gadola also means the same, but it's talking about a feminine person or a feminine word. Tagid. Sorry, not tagid, it's tagia. Tagia means will arrive. Shelcha means of yours. So sheli is mine. Shelcha is yours, a man. Shelach is a woman. So belonging. And sheli is mine, like it says here. Od, it means still or yet. It's also commonly used to mean more. Ke is at the beginning of the word, you may have it, and we had it here. Kechodesh, about a month. And yamim, do you remember what yamim is? It's a very, very common word. Yamim or yom. Yamim is days, and the singular of yamim is day. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed this fairly short lesson. It's actually part of a course that we do called Practical Hebrew. I just want to show you what that consists of. Practical Hebrew, if I just log into my account, is a series of, here we go, 10 modules, and each module has 4 or 5 parts to it, or 10 parts with 4 or 5 modules. We actually just did 1 page of 1 module. So we really did quite a little, and the actual course itself is very, very thorough, and as you can see, there's a lot of video, there's a lot of writing and translating, and there's also a lot of audio as well, and it really is a great way to learn Hebrew in your own time. And we've made very sure that it uses all of your senses, both sight of reading, sight of video, and also listening also, to make sure that you're able to learn Hebrew as quickly as possible, but really the Hebrew that you really need to know. And we made a decision not to go through kind of verb tables, because who really sits there and goes through verb tables? Like, no one. So we've actually included all of the learning within the program itself of Practical Hebrew. And it does start off quite slowly with instruction and basic two-way greetings, living arrangements, conversations on speaking Hebrew, asking directions, invitations, greetings, grocery store, Friday night conversation, coffee shop, telling time, post office, making a phone call, buying tickets, making plans, theatre, army, having in the evening at the barber, the hairdressers, the dry cleaners, feeling sick, shoemakers, at work, salaries, getting up in the morning, car troubles, on the job, the Purim parade, there's final practice exercise, which is quite thorough as well, and a visit to an irrigation site even. So we've made sure that it is very thorough, but really just covers the Hebrew that you really, really need to know. And if we just go back into the living arrangements, you'll see that we really go, there's a lot to learn here, and we've done the male and then the female, and let me just show you at the top here. You can see that there's a lot more of just this module as well, and there's 40 modules in all. Now, I know a lot of people who are on this webinar at the moment may be interested in actually becoming part of the Practical Hebrew program, the whole program, and it is something we do offer for sale, and the usual cost for this is $27 a month. And what you get a month, you get four modules or 5 modules in the first one, which you can go through at your own time. Everything is downloadable. You don't need to wait for anything to come in the post at all. And that's usually $27 a month. And you can start and stop as you like. But if you want all 10 modules, that would be $270. But we're not going to do anything like that here. Because you have attended this webinar, I want to do something a bit more special for you. Is that something that you'll be interested in? Are you interested in the Practical Hebrew course? If I can do something really quite special for you, and you can just put in the question box. Yeah, I can see a lot of people are interested. So let me tell you what I can do for you. And this is only for people who are on the webinar. Well, firstly, I'm not going to charge you anything like $270. Nothing like that at all. What I'm going to do is charge you just a one-off price so you can get access to everything at the same time. So you don't need to wait for that. Not only that, but I'm going to do a couple of other really special things for you as well. Firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a 1 year, 100% money back guarantee. And what do I mean by that? That means that you have a year to go through everything. At any point, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, up to 365 days from now, if you change your mind for any reason at all, then you just be in touch with myself. I have a help desk. It's on every single page of every single one of my websites. It's replytoben.com. You go to www.replytoben.com, ask me for a refund, and I'll process it within 24 hours. We'll part as friends. That's cool. And the reason I can do this is because I very, very rarely get anyone at all asking for a refund, because it's simply the best course that there is out there on the internet. So you've got 1 year to make a decision if you want your money back or not. But obviously for both of us, I think what we'd rather is that you do love the course and you really learn a lot from the course as well. So it's a 1 year money back guarantee. And if you find anyone else doing that, let me know for a similar course, and I'll actually do a 2-year guarantee. And once again, the reason I can do that is because everybody who purchases our course absolutely loves it. So just to remind you, I'm not going to charge you $270. I'm going to take a large amount off that. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to give you 4 bonuses which I usually sell. The first is another Hebrew course of mine, which I usually sell for $49.95. And that is called Hebrew Unscrambled. It's also a very, very popular course, which has been sold to thousands of people. I'll also give you 2 extra bonuses. That's Microchip Learning for Hebrew Volume 1 and Microchip Learning for Hebrew Volume 2. They're usually sold for $27 each. And what this does is it goes through a load of words, and it uses a proprietary method that's been created in our office here, in our workshop here, in order to help you remember words very, very quickly. So I'm trying to think of an example. But for example, let's take that word karov, which we just learnt, which meant near, which sounds a bit like curb. And you mustn't stand karov to the curb. you mustn't stand closely to the curb. And people have got back to me and said, we actually enjoyed that, but not only did we enjoy that, but we actually learnt a lot of words as well. The last bonus which I'm going to give you is a book which I published called Read Hebrew in Just 90 Minutes. It's available on Amazon for $14.99, but I want to give it to you free, and it's going to be a downloadable version, and everything here is downloadable from your computer so that you can get hold of it at any time. And if you don't read Hebrew already, this will show you how to read Hebrew and teach you how to read Hebrew in just 90 minutes. So instead of charging you $270, which I usually do at $27 a month, to get access to all of the 10 parts of 4 modules, so that's 40 in all, there's just a one-off payment of $97, and you'll get immediate access to the whole course so that you don't need to wait 10 months to get access to it. You'll get it now as soon as as soon as you've made your payment. So I just want to go over exactly what you get. Firstly, instead of paying $270, just for people on this webinar, you can pay $97 and you'll get immediate access to everything. And that is a reduction of over 63%. Secondly, if for any reason over the next year, and I really mean that, I really mean that, because I want to take away any risk for you. I want you to feel that you're going to be very happy once you've made your purchase. You get a 1-year guarantee. And what that means, and there's no catches here, what that means any time over the next year, just be in touch with myself if you're not 100% happy, and you'll get a full refund, and you can keep all of the bonuses as well. So, that gives you the confidence to know that if you're buying now, then you can change your mind at any time that you like. And in addition to that, you'll get 4 bonuses, which sell on their own separately, but you're going to get everything that we sell here at Practical Hebrew. The first is access to Hebrew Unscrambled, which has 10 modules in itself, and we sold literally thousands of copies for $49.95. You'll also get Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Microchip Learning for Hebrew, where the idea is that we put a microchip in your head so that you can learn all of these words very quickly. And the third bonus that we're going to give you is Read Hebrew in Just 90 Minutes, and you'll be able to download this. It's on sale on Amazon for $14.99, but you'll get immediate access to this. And it's just $97 for the full course. And here you can see on every single page, on every single one of my websites, you can get in touch with me at my help desk. It's www.replytoben.com. If you have any questions, if you do decide after your purchase, anytime up to 1 year, that you do want a refund. So I can see people are asking me, okay, yeah, I want to order, just give me, just tell me how already. Okay, so it's here. Look on your screen, and I've just highlighted it, and I'll actually put this to you in the question box as well, so that you can just copy it and paste from there. Let's see if I can even make it bigger for you. It's www.redirectmagic.com/special. That's redirectmagic.com/special. And if you go there, then you'll be able to make your payment, and you'll get access to everything that I've shown you in this webinar. So that's redirectmagic.com/special. And I can see, because we have a lot of people on this webinar, that sales are starting to get through. And obviously, if you have any questions about it, you can ask me right now, or you can ask me on your on the chat or at the help desk as well. I've pasted that link both in the chat box and also the question box as well. So go there now and make your purchase. It's redirectmagic.com/special. Now, obviously, you can leave this webinar and, you got a great lesson in some Hebrew, and I'm sure that you did get a lot out of it. But if you want to learn more Hebrew, then this really is the way to do it. Obviously, I'm giving you a very big discount on this course, and it's the top rated course on the internet currently. But also I'm giving you a 1-year guarantee. I know I'm mad. The reason I can even be mad is because I know that people love this course. People absolutely love this course, and refunds are very, very few, but it gives you an opportunity to test me out, see it's exactly what you want, and if not, then be in touch. My contact details are all over the internet. It's www.replytoben.com, or you can email me personally on ben@21g.com. You'll find that on your payment receipt as well. Be in contact with myself or my help desk or my help desk card if you have any questions at all. And in addition to that, I'm giving you 4 bonuses, which if you were to buy them separately will cost you 50 plus 27 plus 27. That's what, 100 and 104. And 15 is $119. And you get that absolutely free if you take advantage of this today. And instead of paying $270 for the membership, which is $27 a month for 10 months, you get everything you see here for just $97. That's for the full course and the bonuses and everything. So to make your purchase, and it's the last time I'm going to say it, but you really, really should go to redirectmagic.com/special. That's redirectmagic.com/special. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to be in contact. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say thank you very much for attending. I know your time is extremely valuable. Please, if you have any comments or want to say you enjoyed this webinar, you didn't enjoy this webinar, this workshop, how it could be better, how it could be worse, please do put that in the chat or the question box, which should be on your screen right now. It's incredibly valuable for me to get your feedback so that I can make it more a better experience for you in the future. So if you haven't done that yet, and I can see a few people haven't, then please do that. I want to say thank you very, very much, firstly, for everybody who has attended and gone through this webinar, and also to everybody who has made the purchase and joined the Practical Hebrew family. And I really look forward to spending a lot of time with you and improving your Hebrew. If you've got any questions, I'm always here. And the link is redirectmagic.com/special. And really look forward to being in touch with you soon. So depending where in the world you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you very much, and goodbye.